Hi, it's me again. Told you about Jack and Helen. We're going to talk about people now that are here, that they've collected. Jack and Helen collect people. I heard them. Somebody gave me a description on this just like that. They collect people. And they collected me. And they've collected so many people down here that are just kind of free-form geniuses. They're wild, just a wild group of people. In this place called the Makers Guild. It's 13 acres. And we're about maybe 10 miles from the launch site. And there's because of that, we're all the young single engineers that Elon has hired that are just like him, I guess. A lot like him. They worship the guy, and I can see why. I've watched two-part episodes from him of a three-parter to go into his philosophies of how he's doing this. He's turning this rocket production facility and rocket production game into a mass production like Henry Ford. He's every bit the Henry Ford that Henry Ford was, but to rockets. Changing production methodologies, changing the way they iterate and just do all of the stuff that they're doing, and it's just amazing that he's doing this, and he's doing it right out in public. You know, you'll see later. I'll show you some pictures of that. You can drive right up to the launch site, take pictures of this. So you don't know what it is. They're not announcing it. They're doing it right out in public where everybody can see it. And he kind of shakes his head and says, "Well, you know, we're doing it right." He's not really big on that, but he's doing it. And I think it's doing him good because he's getting some good publicity and getting a lot of positive things from it. Let me tell you about some of the people. You know, I think I told you about Jack and Helen's sons and them. There was another guy in here that you've seen him on some of the videos. I know because he's the guy that has the SpaceX done in the hair on the back of his head. He's a guy named Clifton, and he's a wonderful guy. He's smarter than you would think. You know, he's like Tony James in my book. Tony James is the guy in my book who I describe as Sheriff Taylor from the TV series. Everybody thinks he's a rube. He's not a rube at all. I mean, everybody thinks this guy's a weird, hippie-looking guy with a strange haircut and all that stuff. He gets to talking about economics and things like that, and you realize this guy's got it all on the ball. He's a smart guy, and I'm learning a lot just by shutting up and listening to this guy. And actually, let me just say that I'm learning a lot that I didn't think I'd learn at 68 years old. My mind has been opened up a lot, and I'm listening to these people, and they've got all sorts of stories, and they're all well thought out. Most of them. Some of them suffer from youth. They'll outgrow that. Like the engineer that was across the table from me last night. We were kind of looking for Vikings on the TV, and he's coding up some software. I asked him what he was doing. He told me. I can't tell you, but some software that's coming. It has to do with cooling of some features on the thing that need to be cooled. He talked about how the mechanical interfaces with his software had to be right. There are people's lives have been on it. We got to talk about my chapter in the book about when you see something, say something, but say it in a way that doesn't alienate the people around you because these people are smart. And he knows that. At 23 years old, he's such a kid, and yet he's doing all his work sitting on the couch across from me, and I'm watching television. You know, it's like it's just a surreal group down here. And I'm looking over it. Here, I'll show you. So these are the SpaceX guys. There's a pickup truck. There's a fifth wheel over there and a Mini Cooper. Way back in the back that's actually a 53-foot trailer from a semi-truck trailer. And they're going to turn that into a bar. Now, they're turning it into a bar because SpaceX gave them a hard time the other day. They said, you know, you don't speak for SpaceX employees when you call yourself makers Boca Chica. And Jack said, well, okay, it's going to be that way. We're just going to be this is the SpaceX engineers not representing SpaceX group. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer by his trade. Anyway, they're going to make this bar out here that's going to be separate from the SpaceX bar that they're talking about building out at the launch site. This is going to be SpaceX employees, non-SpaceX representative bar. They got the climbing wall in it and all this stuff. And they're going to air condition it. We're talking about where they're going to put the lights and all this stuff. So they're doing that on their time off. It's kind of funny. But they're kids. They're kids. It's just amazing, and I'm in awe that they let me be a part of this. It's fun to watch, and they keep coming and asking me questions about things. I don't know why they would ask me, but but I'm flattered by it, and flattered just completely that they let me be part of this. Sun's coming up. I think I'll stop it here and go on to part 3 later.